What's up? It's your boy Carcino here. Let's talk about it. We gon' kick it old school. When all this other technology fails us, we kicking it old school. Now, everybody's talking about Eddie Hearn and why they putting this big fight over in Saudi Arabia. Why not? You go where the money is. I'm quite sure they don't have to worry about getting their money from the Saudis. Amir Khan didn't read the fine print in his business dealings, and he speaks the language. Eddie Hearn and his team are not going to have these problems. Saudi Arabia has money. They have a lot of money, and people in the United States just aren't playing. Eddie is smart because they realize that the business is taking them out of the United States. This is where the money's at, and the interest. People's interests in the United States are into so many different things. You've seen Formula racing done in Saudi Arabia. You've seen all of these different things. Why? Because they pay money. They want to be part of the big events, the big shows. And they got a bunch of money they're willing to throw around to make it happen. So who would Eddie Hearn be if he couldn't get this pulled off? Now, the biggest issue in this whole situation is the actual, how should I put this? The actual committees, the boxing committees. Normally people have their own, like referees, judges, the Nevada boxing committee. So now you got to make sure you have competent people that's going to be refereeing the fight, sanctioning the bout, people who are judges who have judged professional boxing. You want to make sure you have that parity. That's the main concerns, because this is a fight that could go to the scorecards, and you don't want a judge who's not experienced, who's afraid to go with a direction, who might be influenced. You need some people who've had some experience in this situation. So I'm quite sure they'll red tape all of these issues, but these are the discussions. Where they're fighting is not really, should be a problem. It's all the other ancillary problems that are around. Now, the reason why Andy Ruiz was making a big fuss over the situation, the negotiations in play, they know that he knows Eddie Hearn doesn't have my best interests at heart here. So when Eddie's doing all these things, I got to make sure I fight for me. And that's the best thing he can do. Make sure that he's fighting for himself, because if he doesn't fight for himself, then he's not doing himself justice. Being a heavyweight champion, you want to make sure your demands are being met too. Your belt is on the line. There's a lot of things happening and transpiring that's under your watch. You need to be alert to. So definitely pay attention, because it concerns you. You need to be involved. Get involved. And that's what I think their direction is going towards. They're leaning more towards a let's get involved mentality. It's more of a we can do this ourselves situation, and let's work towards making that happen and making that possibility a reality. And that's called growth. That's what it's called. It's called growth. And when you grow into a situation, these are the results. So let's stop trying to sabotage and get behind it. I have no problems with Eddie Hearn putting this fight in Saudi Arabia. And everybody who's creating all of this controversy and saying this and that, and you guys are giving Eddie a bad rep for no reason. Nobody has been more transparent than Eddie Hearn in this boxing game in the past 2 years. Now, the Anthony Joshua fight, the reason why they were holding it off and saying all these things, they were saying, look, we made an offer and they felt it was fair, but I understood why Eddie was doing it. You know, for Eddie, they're looking at the maximum amount of money they can get for Anthony Joshua. We're not going to serve Anthony Joshua up to get beat, and then we lose in the negotiations as well. And plus, PBC wasn't that interested in making the fight that quick. When they got fighters that, you know, that they can keep Joshua fighting. I mean, that they could put Wilder in there with for a larger period of time. So they're not pretty much concerned with anything on that notion. But as we learned and as we move forward, we've seen different scenarios present themselves and come forth and, you know, make themselves known or more visible to the world. And this is just another one of those opportunities in which that happens. Okay? Tevin Farmer, Gervonta Davis. Both guys want to fight each other. Both promotional companies are not on the same boat. Eddie Hearn's very confident in making this fight. Team Mayweather doesn't seem very confident in making the fight. They're looking at more like Lomachenko. That's a bigger fight. We should try to get that fight with Tank. And let's get this fight going. While Mayweather and Leonard Ellaby, they want to be smarter with how they handle Tank, because Tevin Farmer presents and represents a type of fight that could be a very difficult fight for Tank. Floyd sees it, I see it, and a lot of other people see that this is not going to be an easy night for Tank. You know, he could catch Tevin and Tevin can go down, but it's too much to risk. Now, Tank's biggest payday is like $2 million, I believe, for a fight. They offered him $5 million. $5 million for the fight. And if y'all want to headline the promotions and you want to outbid for the fight, then outbid them. But they're not going to outbid for that. But they're willing to put up $5 million, $3 million, double what he's been paid before his entire career. Of his biggest payday. Just for this fight. Now you tell me, they've sent these proposals over. Now, Leonard Ellaby and Floyd Mayweather, who's ever handling it at PBC, needs to come up and tell us, hey, why you ain't doing the fight with Tevin Farmer? I know how Floyd feels about it. It's not big business. And the reason why is it's too much risk, very little reward. He beats Tevin Farmer, he gets respect from who? A couple of bloggers on the internet? Some people sitting in that press row? The casual fans are going to be like, okay, beat a guy named Tevin Farmer. It's not big enough. Too much risk, very little reward. But don't say Eddie didn't try to make the fight happen. Canelo Triple G. Let's go there now. Canelo and Triple G. Oscar agreed to a third fight with Gennady Golovkin when they came to the zone. They were going to bring over Triple G only for this reason. Triple G is the kind of guy that needs a dance partner. Canelo was it. And they were supposed to do this fight in September. That was the arrangement. And that's why Triple G signed to come back to the zone. To sign and come to the zone. And not go with Al Heyman and PBC. PBC had a big offer for Triple G. But the zone, when it matched it, because they promised that they could get and land a Canelo fight. A triple fight with Canelo. It's going to be more money. They're going to build it up. Not to worry about it. They gave him a little easy fight. And this is why they came to the zone. Now the zone don't want to pay out pay them out the nose for a fight that's never going to materialize. Who would want that? So the zone looked at it like, well, we don't want to disappoint the people that pay for subscriptions and not provide them with the type of fights that they're going to want to go back and watch again and again. So, if we put Triple G in a fight, we need to put him in a fight with a guy that matters, like right away. That's why Canelo had the one touch-up fight with Rocky. Then he had to go to Danny Jacobs. So, when it came down to it, Golden Boy already had this in play. Now, all of a sudden, Oscar's singing a different tune because from what Eddie's been told, it's Canelo that really doesn't want to do the third fight with Triple G. And it's like, why did he's really just not interested in fighting the guy a third time. It's like, for him, Canelo wants to move on. He's like, look, I fought this guy twice. I beat this guy twice. No matter how many times everybody keeps thinking that, this guy Triple G won, I won the fight. Both times. So I don't want to do it again. Like, really, it's just like no interest. He wants another challenge. And his challenge that he wants is Kovalev. Sergey Kovalev. He wants to move up in weight and challenge Sergey Kovalev. Now, they better hope Sergey Kovalev win their next fight, and this is a really dangerous fight for Canelo. And a dangerous step up, as Canelo has been taking risk after risk after risk, people. So when everybody's talking about who's pound for pound the best, and I'm like, well, I got it tied with Canelo and Terrence Crawford, people look at me like I'm crazy. But it's the truth. No one has Canelo's resume out there in boxing right now, besides Manny Pacquiao, and Manny Pacquiao still don't have that. Where he's fighting the top tier of the top tier. He's beating these new guys with all these ballooned, records, but they have no credibility of beating anybody. So that's going to happen. Now, for Triple G and Derevyanchenko, I think Derevyanchenko's going to eliminate the Triple G problem right away because Derevyanchenko's going to beat the living crap out of him. Unless they have a no-VADA testing and, he can Triple G up. He can triple HGH up. That's the only way he going to get him out of there. Because Derevyanchenko can crack. And he can box. So, you're going to be in for a big surprise on that fight because I'm betting on Derevyanchenko by stoppage. I'll say TKO. They might wave it off. I don't know if he drops him, but he hurts him. He hurts Triple G pretty bad because Triple G has, no lateral movement. So, that's my take right now. So, hopefully, you guys understand that. I think Eddie's getting such, kind of a bad rap when the guy's just really trying to make and give you guys some of the best fights. Now, if the guy wasn't, I'll sit here and tell you he wasn't. And he wasn't doing or trying to do what he was supposed to do. Like when the Anthony Joshua and Wilder situation was going on, I'm like, look, dude, you told us by now we was going to see the fight, and now we ain't seeing the fight. So either you or them got a problem with your arithmetic. But since the Tyson Fury came into their play, and I told you guys about Fury, now everybody's singing my slogan. So now that we all know that and know the mix, let's hop to it, gentlemen. It's your boy Carcino, I'm out. If you donate to the page, please hit up the Cash App. Or if you want the Streamlab, click in the description box. People are like, you don't do boxing no more. Nah, I don't really do it as much as I used to. You guys don't ask for it. In the Streamlab, you guys told you, donate to the page. People donate to the page. They ain't asking about boxing. They asking about everything else. So y'all got to get with the program. I'm out.